Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials. This session is meant for class 11th biology students and this is meant for 8th July 2020. We are entering into a new chapter number 7, Structural Organization in Animals. I repeat, Structural Organization in Animals. And what is that we are going to discuss and reflect in this chapter? We are going to talk about various animal tissues. And to start with, basically we should know what is a tissue. Of course, we said cell is the structural and functional unit of life. So when cell is structural and functional, naturally tissue which is made up of cells should also bear the responsibility of structure and perform a particular function. So tissue may be defined as group of one or more types of cells. It may be similar cells, one type of cell, or more than one type of cells. If it is only one type of cell, we say simple tissue. If it is more than one type of cells, compound or complex tissue. And this is physically linked and has similar origin. Origin should be similar. And of course, it should perform a specialized or definite function along with intracellular fluid. There must be within the cell, intra means within the cell there must be a fluid. And the microscopic study of tissue is called histology. As you go to senior classes, particularly PG, MBBS, all this, you will study a separate biology called histology. What do you study? You study about the tissues, various tissues, their properties, identification of that, what it is made up of, all that. So, father of histology is Paul Meyer, and the tissue term was given by Bichette. These things are to be remembered for your exam's sake. And there is two types of liquids, extracellular and intracellular. Extra means outside, extracellular, fluid that is present outside the cell or in between the cells. So most animal cells have narrow spaces around them, and the fluid between them or around them is called extracellular, and the intracellular is one that is present inside the cell. So both play a vital role in the movement of various substances across the cells. So movement is because of these two types of fluids, extracellular and intracellular. And all the tissues are divided into four types based on their structure and function. What are those? First one, epithelial tissue. Epi means upon, on top. Thelium means layer. Layer that is forming the top, covering the whole organ systems and organism. Muscular tissue, tissue that is responsible for building up of muscles. And connective tissue, tissue that connects organ to organ, cell to cell, tissue to tissue. So it is connective tissue. And nervous tissue, tissue that is responsible for all our reflections. That is nerves. And to start with, epithelial tissue, the word epithelium was given by Frederick Andreas, and it has got its origin from three layers. All of you know ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Ecto means outside, meso means middle, endo means inside. And what is the basement membrane? All the epithelia, irrespective of where they rest on thin non-cellular membrane called basement membrane. Basement membrane is a must, and it is a bilayered. Outer layer, basal lamina, inner layer, fibrous lamina. And we classify the epithelial tissue based on, again, the type of cell structure and the function. So epithelial tissue can be classified into two types. One is, as you are seeing, simple epithelial tissue, and the second one is compound epithelial tissue. Simple epithelial tissue is a tissue that has got one layer thickness, one celled layer it is, one celled layer. Whereas compound one is more than one cell layered thick, more than one cell layered thick, 2 to 3 rows like this will be there. And the simple epithelial tissue, again based on the structure of the cells, function of the cells, divided into 4. Squamous epithelial tissue, cuboidal epithelial tissue, columnar epithelial tissue, ciliated epithelial tissue, and pseudo-stratified epithelial tissue. So simple epithelial tissue is classified into 5 types: squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, and pseudo-stratified. And what about compound? It is divided into 2: stratified and transitional or non-stratified. So in that stratified, we have got again 4 types: stratified squamous epithelial tissue, cuboid epithelial, columnar epithelial, columnar ciliated. And again in squamous compound, stratified, keratinized and non-keratinized also will be there. There is a chemical called keratin. If keratin is there, it is keratinized. Keratin not there, non-keratinized. So we start with first one, squamous epithelium, and look at the shape. Please draw the diagrams, label it, okay? And then I want you to focus on what is called location. Where are these squamous epithelial cells are present? Inner cheek lining, Bowman's capsule lining, alveoli, no? Because of now corona, COVID-19, alveoli of the lungs are getting affected. So remember, alveoli linings and blood vessels, clotting. The blood vessels that carry blood to lungs are getting clotted in corona affected patients. So remember, this squamous epithelial tissue is responsible for that. And what are the functions? It is responsible for protection, secretion, exchange of gases, and excretion, because it is present in Bowman's capsule, which will be there in kidney. And the second one, we go for that cuboidal epithelial tissue. So we are talking of simple cuboidal epithelial. Now draw the diagram again, label it. Cytoplasm, basement membrane, you can see just like a bed, Kurlan bed. You've got basement membrane, connective tissue, nucleus, and I want you to focus on location. Where this cuboidal epithelial, simple cuboidal epithelial, ducts of glands, and at PCT. PCT is proximal convoluted tubule. That's present in nephron. It is also called brush-bordered cuboidal epithelium because there will be presence of brush-like structures, microvilli. It is also present in ovaries and testes. Normally in CBS exam this will be asked, so you must remember cuboidal epithelium. And it is called germinal epithelium. What about the functions? It is responsible for protection, secretion, absorption, gamete formation. This is why they are present in testes and gonads, ovaries. Third one, columnar epithelium. Again, look at the structure, the vertical pillar-like, and basement membrane is there. Draw the diagram. Location, it's present in stomach. So I know during this what we call lockdown period, I'm sure all of you must be concentrating or focusing on your belly, and I'm sure you will be developing a lot of what we call the muscles, isn't it? Location, stomach, pancreatic tubules, gastric glands, intestine, gallbladder, all this. Function, protection, stomach, getting that, 6-pack, 7-pack, all that you say, that's for protection. And secretion, because it is present in glands. And absorption, intestine, it's present in intestine, so absorption. At stomach and intestinal lines, the tissue secretes a slimy fluid, mucus, and such cells are called goblet cells. Remember this again, in competitive exam they will ask you, goblet cells. In intestine, the tissue bears microvilli at free ends. And what about the fourth one? Ciliated epithelium structure. Okay, look at that. And I want you to focus on cilia on top, brush like. And location, where are they present? They are present in urinary bladder, nasal passage, the respiratory duct, oviduct, spinal cord of the embryo. These are the locations where ciliated epithelium is present. And the cells are like columnar, they are like a column. And function, protection and movement of substances in a particular direction, because they have whip-like structures called cilia. So protection is the main thing. And last one, pseudo-stratified epithelia. Again, look at the diagram. Mucus secretion is there, cilia is present. So pseudo means not real, false, stratified like a column epithelium. So location again, large ducts and salivary duct, urethra of the males, and this side pseudo-stratified trachea, large bronchus. And what about the function? Protection, movement of secretion from glands, because mucosa, urine, semen, urethra, mucus loaded with dust and bacteria and trachea towards larynx. So this is also very, very important. Pseudo-stratified epithelia. Then comes compound epithelium. I said compound epithelial tissue is a tissue that is made up of more than one cell layer thickness. So this is divided into two: stratified epithelia and transitional epithelium. So in stratified, there are many layers of cells. That is a characteristic of that. Germinal cells are low columnar type, and outer or surface layers vary in nature. Based on the nature, shape of the cells, there are four types: stratified, squamous, cuboidal, columnar, and ciliated. And of course, stratified squamous, as I said, is divided into two, that is keratinized and non-keratinized. Now in stratified, innermost cells will be there, and they are forming a germinative layer, stratified squamous epithelium. They divide by mitosis and form new cells. The new cells eventually shift outwards. In this process, they progressively flatten. The surface cells are thin, flattened with flat nuclei. Okay. Now I want you to focus on this keratinized stratified squamous. Now look at the diagram. The few layers replace their cytoplasm with hard waterproof protein called keratin. This is what I said, keratin. That's a protein. It forms outer layer called horny layer. This process of horny layer formation is called keratinization. Location, epidermis of the skin. It prevents loss of water and provide mechanical support. And non-keratinized, there is no keratin in this. Location, buccal cavity, esophagus, anal canal, vagina, and lower part, non-keratinized. And function, protection against abrasion of food. And stratified cuboidal epithelial tissue, epidermis of fishes, all this will be there, and that is responsible for it. Stratified columnar, epiglottis, mammary gland, and some other parts of the urethra. And stratified ciliated epithelial, larynx and upper part of the soft plate. And last one is transitional epithelia. They differ by stratified epithelia in having fewer layers, 3 or 4 of cells, less flattened surface. Now, where are they located? Lines the organ which undergo considerable expansion. So the cells stretch when expansion occurs, and during contraction they acquire their original position. They start folding. That means it's like a sponge. It can expand and constrict. And some of them also act as glands by secreting certain juices. So basically the epithelial tissue performs the following functions: protection, secretion, absorption, excretion, and reproduction. So in our next session, we will be talking about the second tissue, that is muscular tissue. Until then, keep listening, draw diagrams, practice sketches, label it, and identify the significance of each label.